Yes, people! It's Mic Drop. It's episode 51 of the Soulvent Records podcast. You know what is up by now. And you will have noticed instantly that I've got label Goss Joe Boss next to me. And we're in a different location. We're not in the Hospital Records studio, and we're not in my house. We're actually in Joe's house. And what a great backdrop we've got behind us, and we'll talk about that a bit later on in the show. But Joe, thanks for joining me, mate.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure, mate. It's a lovely sunny Saturday afternoon, and here we are.
Got some bangers. Do you want to introduce this tune, Joe? Tell the listeners what they're enjoying.
Well, absolutely, Mike. Although they might not want to know. These beautiful, techie, emotional sounds are Jon Tho with Don't Want to Know or I Don't Want to Know. Not quite sure yet.
And it's out now.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
SV107. I got some nice reaction from on episode 50, the kind of talk format with Chris Goss, because I kept talking about catalogue numbers. So I might continue to do that. Some people like it.
Yeah, for those listeners not aware, Jon Tho is also the head of Surveillance Music, a label which has supported some releases from Kit and Finn from Circumference under their solo aliases.
And Finn features on the B-side, right?
He certainly does. The track is called Smile.
We're going to play that later on in the show. Don't worry. So we got a packed show for you today. I think this track list is going to be slightly longer than the usual sort of mic drop format shows that we do, and maybe that's just because I was gassed that I knew I was going to be doing it with Joe. Yeah, we got some serious bangers in the track list. This tune playing right now is a new release on Grid Recordings. It's from an artist called Ollie Lewis. Cool artist name. Especially if that's not his actual name. Tune's called We Really Get In Tune. And usually, when you see something from Grid, you think that it's going to be a certain kind of sound, right? And all the tracks on this EP are kind of like this, you know, a bit more relaxed. So that just goes to show that you can't make an assumption about what a release is going to sound like just because of the label it's on. And I just had a thought, if Grid Recordings don't do a VA compilation thing called Gridims, like, what are they doing?
This one is a certified Gridim.
got backseat mixing from Joe here. We're only two tunes in. If you're listening to these on SoundCloud, you're missing all this gold, right? Get on YouTube and watch it.
So wipe the tears away from your face.
This one's certainly a vibe. Sounds of Foreign Concept, Slay and Roxiie Reese.
I said it's
on vibe.
Time you've had me standing outside, now it's getting kinda cold. Come and tell me what's the vibe. Hey, I said your vibe's captivating. Thought you'd never catch me waiting, but your love's locked down, babe. And I'm willing to break it. No faking or mistaking. I think we could have a great thing, so chill and stop debating. That's a lot of time and energy to be wasting. I run quite fast, but I ain't good at chasing. So let me know, are you solid, are you flaking? Are we really at it, are you ready to be taken? Tell me what's the vibe.
Tune coming in now is a remix on the Soulvent Meets Hospital, somewhere behind me.
Tell me what's the vibe.
Joe's also showcasing the CD. This is the BMotion Reflections remix by Fred V. And if you have not seen episode 50 yet of the Soulvent Records podcast, I highly encourage you to go back and watch it on YouTube. Partly just to get the view numbers up, right? But also, me and Chris had quite a good chat about the remix project and this tune in particular. Enjoy.
Yeah, for those unaware, Mike interviewed Chris Goss from Hospital Records for episode 50, our special milestone episode.
I hope it wasn't too cringe, Joe.
Hey, it was class. I learnt things in that episode, and I run the label. So.
Oh, mate, I enjoyed it. I was buzzing to be able to do it, right? Like, just to speak to Chris. I certainly enjoy hearing some of the things that maybe people don't know, right? Like you said, you learnt some stuff. Like I really sort of get a bit nerdy about that sort of shit. So real privilege for me. Different format to the show as well. Yeah, really enjoyed it. We couldn't do that every time, right? Do the talking format, but for a milestone episode like that, and it tied in nicely timing wise with the Soulvent Meets Hospital thing, right? It was just perfect storm.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure there's someone in the comments on this one saying that we talk too much anyway. So if you want more talking, go check episode 50.
if you want less talking and more Soulvent meets Hospital, get over to the Hospital Records YouTube for a massive back-to-back stream done recently with just loads and loads of artists. I won't be able to list them all. Just go check that out.
Who else could it be? It's Workforce for What Sustains.
I'm at the risk of, like, for every tune, like, giving a little mic drop backstory or some sort of anecdote, right? But this one in particular, when I was in Albania, Charlotte and I were staying in, I forget what the hotel's called now, Splendor or something. And there was quite a few notable people staying in the same hotel. And I was in the pool with Workforce and Skeptical and MC Loki and Spy. I mean, they haven't gone back and been like, I was in the pool with mic drop. But yeah, I was just like, wasn't really doing anything, just eavesdropping their conversations. But what a story. I won't tell any more stories of that caliber. This show.
Well, I think it will live with me forever. You saying, "Look, Joe, I'm big in the liquid scene with GQ."
Just name dropping all the people I shared the pool with.
You're the one that I need.
Go check out this Workforce album because it's immense. On his own label, Must Make. He also has a podcast, Must Make podcast, and that is a talking one, not a music one. But you know, he got some interesting stuff going on there.
Baby.
Do you reckon in the Must Make company ethos there's like a bangers in brackets at the end of it?
Yeah.
When I've got the headphones on, I can't hear what you're saying, so you're saying whatever you want. I mean, R.I.P. There's no more Spectrasol, right? But I feel like that stuff that Workforce is putting out is like still scratches the itch, you know?
I think they call that a fair trade-off.
This one is new on 31. Will Miles with Give Me Your Lovin'.
Feels like quite an apt tune for this bromance weekend, doesn't it, Mike?
Captured on film as well.
So as we stand here and record, Boomtown is happening. Want to give a big shout out to everyone raving in that heat. You're stronger people than me.
Quick talk because I've clashed the vocal, Joe.
What's sliding in now is the sounds of Ruth Royall like honey in your ear. It's the Logistics remix of New Love. Conveniently featured on the Soulvent Meets Hospital album.
Do you think people come here for the relentless plugs, or they just come here for the music and they just have to suffer through all that? This is huge, man.
Yeah. Can we go back? Can we go back to the time we felt the sunshine? Can we go back? Can we go back? Dark room and all the bright lights. Can we go?
This took some hammer in Albania, didn't it?
I was yours.
Absolutely.
Can we go back, babe? Can we go back? Can we go back?
If you don't know, this is Unglued featuring Esther Durin, way back when, and it's the Halogenix remix.
Can we go back? Can we go back? Can we go
I guess we can segue now that I've used the word Halogenix, Joe.
back?
You certainly can.
We catch a flight. Remember all
Go on then.
the music out.
Well, if you need more Halogenix in your life,
On the days when we
then you need to get a ticket to the Sunday for Hospitality Weekend in the Woods in Beckenham Place Park,
come back, will you come back on
where we have the pleasure of Halogenix headlining alongside Skeptical on our stage versus Flex Out Audio.
fantasy?
Ridiculous lineup.
It's weighty, it's weighty for sure.
Going to be a few griddims.
If anyone from Grid Recordings and watching this, we want the trademark, please.
Can we go back? Can we go back? Can we go back? Back. Can we go back? Can we go back to the time we felt the sunshine? Can we go back? Can we go back? Dark rooms and all the bright lights.
Apparently living in the UK at the moment, we can't go back to the time before the sunshine because it's hot.
Can we go back? Can we go back?
Tune playing now. Give Me a Reason. On the debut EP, not the debut release, but the debut EP from Lens on Spearhead. EP's called Marufo. And there's you know, you listen to this tune, it's kind of like sort of dreamy, like Liquid vibe to it. There's some jungly ones on there. Just showing her range, Ellen. Been very, very busy with all her bookings. Now she found time to put this out, but I'm here for it.
Give me a sunlight, tell me you're all in. Give me a lovin', I'll stay till the morning. Give me a reason, 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 give me a reason.
So this nice tune is called Tomato Bisque.
It's a strong name.
It is actually. And it's from Random Movement and Anthony Kasper. And Random Movement runs Flight Pattern. And if you don't know about Flight Pattern and Random Movement, go check them out, because Flight Pattern actually released a Dilemma EP a little while back called Stolen Cuts, and that's in reference to some absolute person with small dick energy that stole Piper's laptop and hard drive and stuff, right? They got their hands on some griddims there. But anyway, latest release from Random Movement. There's some interesting track names on that EP. The EP is called The Remember Sessions Volume 1. So yeah, go check that out if you want to hear or see what the other track names are. And this is also included on our Soulvent Selects Spotify playlist. Hashtag Soulvent Selects. And this time, the most recent iteration, the most recent refresh of Soulvent Selects was actually chosen by label Goss Joe Boss. And he included this. That's why I wanted to put it on the podcast. So go follow that playlist on Spotify, assuming you're a Spotify subscriber. Why wouldn't you be? Basically, we put stuff that's in the podcast on there, other tunes that we in the Soulvent office like. So if you aren't following that, go do it.
While we record, big shout out to any Manchester United fans, aka Mike. 4-0, you know the drill.
Joe, you can talk about this one.
Is it New Galaxy? That's what everyone at home's saying, isn't it? New Galaxy, imagine that.
This is lit.
It really is a new day.
Out now on Shogun.
Something else that's new. This delightful hat on my head.
Joe's had his one for absolutely ages, and I kept trying to steal it as like a test run, from the manufacturer. Like at the Christmas party, I tried to steal that from you, and it's now. I didn't get to steal it, but it was. I took it home for like a few days, and then you realised. But it's taken that long for us to get them from the manufacturer for a variety of reasons, but they are there now on the Bandcamp store. Go for your boots, especially if you're like me and you don't want to get melanoma on your head.
Safety is important.
And also, I got told off by Joe. You want to tell this story, Joe? About the hat?
Oh yeah, well, you know, I was all what day? I can't remember what day it was, but
the day that we launched them.
Oh yeah, no, it was launch day. Yeah. Well, thankfully that wasn't the only order to come in, but I sat there and my phone went and it said someone bought a hat. I was like, oh, that's nice. Let's have a look who that is. Bloody mic drop. So if you want to brighten my day and not be mic drop buying a hat, you know where to go.
Got some shade for buying a hat from my own label. In addition to the shade provided by the hat.
Ooh. This one's a banger. It's those crafty fins on the remix. Askel and Elere. It's Winslow and Pete Simpson on Everything and More.
plug the or highlight the fact that people get stickers with the Soulvent Meets Hospital order? Oh shit!
I don't know that I did, but yeah, if you get yourself a copy of the lovely vinyl,
double vinyl,
as displayed, you get some limited edition stickers with it as well. What more could you want? Everything and more, just for you.
In this time and next time on a downtime in the future, I want to give you everything, and this is proof here. You know the feeling sublime will never be lost for time. How many ways, how many times I prayed for love and then I found you, and I believe that there's no one better for me. I'll do my best just to please you. I give you all that I am, and loving you I can see that I am truly loving me, yeah. Another chance to show you my heart. It's like a dream.
Now, if you want to revel in the fun that was Soulvent Meets Hospital, we recorded a very special Rinse FM show, taking over for the Hospital Records show on Rinse FM. I was ably joined by Emba, Winslow and Mountain. And you can listen back to that show on socials now. SoundCloud is the spot, I believe, but we will post it in the weeks coming.
Great to have Mountain here, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit mind-boggling if I'm honest.
I mean, when you get signed, mate, you just want to be in the epicenter of the scene. You can't blame him, really.
And is as if by magic, got this lovely Mountain record right here. Mountain's self-titled debut album, Mountain, is out now on Soulvent Records. Go check that.
SV100 milestone release. Just on the subject of catalogue numbers, we had a little chat before we started recording. And it's a little kind of tidbit for the catalogue nerds out there, like me. Soulvent Meets Hospital doesn't actually have a Soulvent Records catalogue number, does it, Joe?
It doesn't, no.
It was going to be SV108, but we're going to play a tune from SV108 in a little while, and it's a banger. But yeah, it's got a hospital catalogue number, obviously, but that's going to be a pub quiz question, isn't it?
I look forward to the end of the year when we have our Soulvent reunion.
The tune playing now is New Dawn Wall. Who doesn't want more New Dawn Wall? They've been quiet for ages, those guys. Or people, persons. No one knows who they are. This tune's called Fears. I had fears that they weren't going to come back, but they're here. How many track puns can we get into one podcast? We'll have the mob out saying don't speak after having 3 beers on the podcast. I mentioned SV108. It's actually coming up next. And because it's unreleased, we're going to have to talk over it a bit.
Only a little bit though.
There might be someone talking on it.
The mind them move like pilgrim. You know what the roof's on when we're in the building. Always standing firm whilst them other man are wilting. They think they're on a level to the scale start tilting. Heavy, we born ready. If you're talking peas, we're a pound to your penny. Never have a couple bits, only got many. We eating but we still sticking our teeth in that we got an empty belly.
This is live and director, flexer, coming in sharper than the Tesla.
Stop it.
Bad a penny session, very blessed, very hedge cut. Ain't an expedition on a lecture.
I don't know if I've ever wanted to wheel a podcast as much as that moment.
Yeah, dishing out the pressure, yeah, you heard of us, yeah. We was at
If John GLXY was here, it would have been already wheeled.
Shout out to Mr. Gunfinger in New Zealand right now.
Yeah, I'm absolutely Instagram story jealous on that.
Yes, we gritty with the glitch, talking bits.
I'll tell you what, Jack's getting a bit rewind happy. He was on the boat party, wasn't he?
Yeah, but we were in a boat.
And?
I ain't doing 60-40, I won't take your to 80. Ain't no time for resting for me, I'm doing 100 daily. Ain't no time for working poorly, only do.
So this is, SV108. It's Vektah featuring Pavan, who you probably worked out, recognised his voice, right? The other vocalist is T-Man.
Yeah, Manchester stand-up.
When's this one out, Joe?
Off the top of my head, it's out on the 24th of August, which is a Wednesday, I believe.
Wow. I don't think we've ever done that before, have we?
No, that's a new thing.
It's always Fridays.
We thought we'd cheer you up toward the end of summer, midweek, you know.
Nice.
Like pilgrim, you know what the roof's on.
I was chatting to my mate Bob earlier in the week, and I showed him this tune because he loves Pavan, and he was like, "Oh, it'd be great if you could play it in the podcast." So, Bob, mate,
this one's for you.
This one's for you.
Never have a couple bits, only got many. We eating but we still sticking our teeth in that we got an empty belly.
Yeah, he's really nailed like a sort of grime jungle crossover here, which I'm absolutely here for. And as I use this talking moment, I want to give some birthday shout outs to some affiliated family. Shout outs to Dave Emba on his birthday. To Mel Fez out in America, we miss you. To the Stateside gang, Cash in from Black Lab as well. And of course, Hugh Hardy. Happy birthday, gang.
Good timing. This is an Emba tune playing out from his self-titled debut album, which is not long out, on Spearhead.
Only for a moment.
Tempza on vocals.
Had you here with me.
Only for a moment. Check it out.
Our time getting closer, but it wasn't meant to be.
You were caught up in the dream of what you thought was meant to be. Stopped dead in your tracks, the narrative played out differently. Could this be a sliding doors mystery, affirming that the future will be what it will be? Take this moment of reprieve, cause you can't live your life full of fear or fearfully taking steps to protect yourself from what's clear to be the challenges that come. The battle's fought and won, it ain't just a grand that doesn't come for free. I know you thought you had the keys, but locks they can change with the breeze. Branches lose their leaves, and it's important to just breathe. Even through your gritted teeth, time to grieve. It hurts painfully, and you exert energy to try and unearth, but you can never foresee what hasn't been. And that's a lesson to be learned, right? Based on reality and not for the screen. It was
only for a moment that I had you here with me. I felt our time getting closer, but it wasn't meant to be.
You see the moment in real time, even though you are still fine. But sometimes it helps not to try and find what's between the lines, because I am sure the pain I saw behind your eyes was enough without the hows or the whys. And this won't change, it wasn't a mistake, nah. This was the power of the universe engaged. So trust the route it takes and vibe with no breaks. Soak up the miles, watch the worries in your wake. They say life is what happens while you're busy making plans. Don't let distractions try and twist you by your hands. All those cul-de-sacs and pavements.
Whilst we talk about it and play a Spearhead tune, want to do a little special shout out to a man like Steve BC on buying a house, bro. Congratulations, that's a big move.
Flickered bright, then disappeared.
Especially in this climate as well, with like interest rates, not yo-yoing, just
had in all your years. I know you're
doing that.
Brave and near, but down came the tears.
Sounds like an energy bill.
Ever evolving, all in linear. There's no need for regret. Remember that
Charge up Honey the dog as well.
Cause when the time is right, I know you'll be ready to fight again. Given the all clear, got years of smiles to come. We'll look back and say thank, I've kissed done. Cause it was
only for a moment that I had you here with me. I felt our time getting closer, but it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, really enjoy that Emba album, and there's a lot of good collaborations on there, so I encourage you to go check that out. Big shout out to Dave. Saw him very briefly at Studio 338 the other week. Such a nice guy. Love you, Dave. Always be streaming, repping, all that stuff.
Big up Tempza singing on that
yeah,
one as well. I'd like to
absolutely.
see someone push themselves outside their comfort zone for sure. It's the sort of thing we should celebrate, you know.
Absolutely. Right, now we've done a fader down job. We're going to play this tune, and you probably heard it, right? Everyone's been absolutely
If
smashing
you've not heard it, I don't know where you've been.
What are you doing?
You haven't got ears if you haven't heard it.
Does it need an introduction?
Not really.
Around 2:45, still so high, hypnotized in a trance from his body, so buttery brown and tantalizing. You would have thought I needed help from this feeling that I feel. So shook, I had to catch my breath. Ooh,
that was gonna happen, wasn't it?
Oh my.
It's Jack and Harry's fault that the vinyl fell down for sure. This is Tell You What I Did Last Night featuring Zitah, Pola and Bryson. Do we need to say anything else?
I mean, imagine just being like, oh, what did you do last night? Oh, I just reworked this Missy Elliott tune and they liked it and they wanted to put it out. Like, do you know what? It's a bit like, you know when you sit in the pub and you're like 30 like me, 35 actually now, and you just, like, years ago, you look at footballers and go, they're the same age as me and they're earning like, or they're doing all this stuff, scoring goals for England, like Wayne Rooney's like pretty much similar age, yeah? And I don't have anything to offer, like, and then I look at Jack and Harry and they're like, oh, we're just like working with like Sub Focus and Wilkinson and remixing high contrast tunes and doing this and, oh man.
Do you know what, I remember being at E1 hearing this for the first time and I had to run around a little bit and hit people because I was like, sorry, what? I was like, nah, you've not gone and remixed that, have you?
The reflection of myself, that's why I couldn't catch my breath. Skirt
invest every single minute and the rest. I saw a shaman, he said, you're already blessed. I said, I know this. Still 30 and confused above the shoulders. It's getting orcs to cut it loose, we need to focus. The yo girl, she raised a winner and a soldier. I love you's what I told her, I hope she knows. 100 seasons here scheming as I'm blowing smoke. Look at me all in a scene, just watch the geezer go. I'm trying to fly, saluting people, hoping that I won't. I'm floating round the globe, trackies on my puffer coat, I run it home. Tainted love, the way it comes and goes. Stay for grub, I didn't rush, I hate it when she sows. Late for lunch, blazing up, I never say it's old. But we're just waiting for gold.
We're just waiting to go. The place is hot with one bar, I can make it cold. Blessed microphones for a lifetime, never made it old. Shawshank Redemption did pipelines on the warden's nose. Smoke weed every single second, never caught a cold. Raised the question, all of these lessons we was taught or told. Used to have a holy for jewelry, but I pawn my gold bars are damp around the foundation, and the dawn with mold. Me and Duskee thundering lightning just like a storm would hold. While I travel globe in lavish robes, trying to buy my happy grabbing clothes, writing loads to grab your lobes. I'm really scally death on Savile Row, my future money's just some investments that I haven't blown. It's pure love I get from my kids, something I've never known. Light language, infinite scriptures, you're on a level low. Guess what I'm gonna do with my millions? If I ever blow, spend it all on NFTs.
We hope face to be someone. The only problem is we never know who. Gotta be something to someone. The freeing people of whatever you do. So always strive to be someone. The only problem is we never know who. Gotta be something to someone. The freeing people of whatever you do. Whatever you do. Whatever you do.
Kind of criminal to talk over Duskee and DRS. That's why I didn't. Tune's called Waiting to Go. Disrupta on production. Out now. Shogun Audio. Love that. Love that tune. This one playing now is new out on CIA, Computer Integrated Audio. Great label. Kublai, featuring Elere Esprit. The tune's called Pushin'. This tune now is another one from Slay. It's on his Ultrasounds release on Hospital Records, out now. This went straight to the top of my on repeat on Spotify. This is featuring Little Sound and Lensman. It's called Taste of Gold.
Cause I think that it's all about you. If it's real what you feel, maybe baby come through. I'm on my way to the top, I'm thinking you can come too. Testing, 1 2 1 2. She says she likes the way I talk and how I do what I do. You're kinda cute, it's true. Who would've thought I'd be the one you're on moving to? And now this rhythm's got me dancing and you moving too. So just step, take a little chance. Looking in your eyes makes my vision enhance. So give a little glance while we have a little dance. And maybe we can kiss like say we're kissing in France, eh? So just step, take a little chance. Looking in your eyes makes my vision enhance. So give a little glance. And maybe we can kiss like say we're kissing in France. Okay.
Cause there's something about the way you do nothing. It makes me wanna lose control. Cause baby, I'm missing the way you've been lately.
Those Lensman drums just wrap me in a little kind of blanket of cotton wool. It feels amazing. Tell you what, Slay's kind of killing it now. He's got Hospital started doing this thing on YouTube called Pulse Check, and there's been one from Ruth Royall, there's been one from Solar, there's been one from Slay.
There might be one from Vision Obi around the corner.
Ooh. Well, wow, how's that for a plug? Anyway, it's like it's just them doing vocals, isn't it? Like championing in vocalists. I can't. My words are escaping me now. Right, we're nearly at the end of the show, thankfully. The next tune we've got is the B-side to the Jon Tho single, which is out now, featuring Freshney? Yeah, Finn.
Freshney. Yeah,
One half of
yeah,
Circumference.
That's it.
Tune's called Smile.
You know what you need to do.
I tell you what, when I heard this the first time, you can just hear the Circumference influences on this. We described it on our Dazed radio show. Go listen back to that if you haven't, on swoo.fm. Any Circumference stuff is like just an oral overload. Assault on the ears, isn't it? Yeah. In a nice way, obviously. But yeah, I mean, just enjoy this. Before we get to the drop though, Joe, do you want to talk a little bit about your reflections on the recent show at Studio 338? Because it's warming up for the Woods, right? And it was our first event since the Soulvent Meets Hospital thing. So, I mean, just wall-to-wall vibes, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, some very exclusive back-to-back sets there. Highlights for myself, Hugh Hardy back-to-back Mountain, Fred V back-to-back BMotion, bringing it back to the first release on the label. And Stacey and Vektah, I really enjoyed that set as well, but everyone killed it that day.
It's nice to have those back-to-backs that were the remix pairings from, or a couple of them anyway.
Do you see what we did there?
Absolutely, mate. It wasn't an accident.
Far from it. Hit you with that anti-drop, you know? Oh, it's not dropped yet. Hold on.
So that show, 338, was obviously warm-up for Weekend in the Woods.
Absolutely.
Our stage reflects that audio is on the Sunday, which I want to say is the 18th.
Yes, I believe you're correct.
18th of September, Beckham Place Park. Great for me, it's like a 15-minute cab. If you didn't go last year, a great site as well, and it's nice to have like the Finsbury Park thing on steroids basically, and multi-day. So what more do you want? Do you want to talk about the upcoming Weekend in the Woods festival, Joe?
Yeah, for sure, man. So yeah, this year we are going back to back with Flex out on a sort of versus lineup. I mean, there's no sort of jostling for position, it's all love, right? But yeah, on the lineup you can expect Charlo back to back Vektah, Bassi and Charlie Bricks, Askel and Elere all the way from Finland, Archaic back to back Data 3, Inmost and Mountain back to back. Amos Nastia, I think that's how you say it. Halogenix and Skeptical, with hosts including SPMC, Visionobi, Slay, our man Slay, Mantmast, Favor, and Siege. So if you haven't got a ticket yet, what are you doing?
What are you doing? No, that's a monumental lineup.
Stacked, heavyweight.
Do you want some trivia about that lineup?
Yes.
Archaic, Pete Archaic. He and I went to the same sixth form college.
Now that's in the scene, isn't it?
I mean, I didn't know at that time it was going to be Archaic, right? But yeah, I don't think, like, I mean, we knew of each other, right? But we're not like busy mates. So it'd be nice to go up and speak to him and tell him that, because I've had hair back then and weighed a different amount, so he might not recognise me. And he probably doesn't know about my position here, right? So it'd be nice to speak to him and just maybe reminisce about some of those shared experiences at that sixth form college, which is going to be like 15 plus 20, nearly 20 years ago.
Maths with Mike Coates, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Not after 4 beers. I'm not going to have 4 beers before we do the next royalty accounting, that's for sure.
Yes, all the artists listening, pleased to know that Mike will not be drunk when he is doing the royalty accounting.
Well, maybe if I was drunk, they might get an extra 0 or 2. Right, we're getting to the end of the show, sadly. This is episode 51. Seems mental to say that. And yeah, I mean, we started doing it from episode 13, which is mental. I'm not going to try and work out how many that is we've done. But it's just a privilege to do it every single time. Hopefully, you know, it's a bit more variety if I do it in a different place and I have somebody with me in the form of label boss Joe.
Hi.
We're now going to go and drink this bottle of rum from Jumping Jack Frost.
Yes, this is an absolute banger. He gave me a little taste in Albania when they'd finally settled on the blend, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
That's it.
That is it. That's the end of the podcast. We're going to go drink this rum. Buy your tickets to the Hospitality Weekend in the Woods, particularly the Sunday for the Soulvent versus Flex Out stage, because that's why you're here, innit? You know what I mean?
That is why you're here. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you in episode 52. Cheers.
Peace.